Vietnamese prosecutors have called for a notorious runaway PetroVietnam executive to be sentenced to life in prison and its former chairman to 15 years for their involvement in a massive corruption scandal at the oil giant. The country's top prosecution body, the Supreme People's Procuracy, has accused Dinh La Thang, former board chairman of the state-owned PetroVietnam, of deliberately acting against state regulations on economic management, causing serious consequences, and the runaway Trinh Xuan Thanh of the same charge plus embezzling property. The two are standing trial with 20 other former PetroVietnam execs accused of being responsible for million-dollar losses at power projects run by PetroVietnam Construction Corporation, PVC. According to prosecutors, Thang had abused his power as the group's top leader and overseen financial mismanagement. The indictment said he directly appointed Thang as PVC's general director in December 2007, before making various promotion, funding and recruitment decisions to boost Thang's power and facilitate the company's operations. He is accused of being responsible for Thang's actions that led to losses worth more than $119 billion, $5.24 million, at one thermal power plant and embezzlement of $4 billion, $176,000, at another. Thang has offered to take responsibility for his subordinates' wrongdoings, claiming he had been too impatient and had pushed so hard for the work to be completed on time that his subordinates had violated protocols. However, he has not admitted to actually violating the law, which merits strict punishments, the prosecutors said. Meanwhile, Thang has admitted to having misused the money providing to PVC by PVN, but denied causing losses. According to a representative of PVC at the trial, the company has in fact already retrieved more money than the amount that Thang misused, resulting in a profit instead of a loss. Thang has also denied having embezzled $4 billion despite statements from his subordinates and witnesses claiming otherwise. Thang, 57, was board chairman of PetroVietnam between 2006 and 2011 before his political career took off as Minister of Transport in Prime Minister Nguyen Thanh Duong's cabinet and then as party secretary of Ho Chi Minh City. He was arrested on December 8 after being voted out of the then 19-member Politburo, the party's decision-making body, and fired as the top leader of HCMC in May. His 52-year-old co-defendant Thang was detained last August. Police said he had fled to Europe but returned to turn himself in. The recommendations were made on the fourth day of the historic trial. Before the trial, prosecutors said Thang could face 20 years in gaol, the heaviest punishment for his crime, and Thang could be sentenced to death. It's not immediately unclear if Thang will escape death by having returned $2,087,800 of the money he is accused of stealing from the oil giant. His mother handed over the money to authorities the week before the trial, in what lawyers have interpreted as an effort to save Thang from death. Vietnam's revised penal code, effective from this month, allows those convicted of embezzlement to avoid the death sentence by returning at least 75% of their ill-gotten gains. The country's fight against corruption gained momentum last year under 73-year-old Communist Party General Secretary Nguyen Phu Trong. Scores of officials and executives from PetroVietnam and the banking sector have been arrested. At another high-profile trial that wrapped up after a month in September, the Hanoi court sentenced Nguyen Xuan Thanh, another former board chairman of PetroVietnam, to death, and Ha Van Them, his counterpart at Ocean Bank, to life in jail for embezzlement and mismanagement that caused losses of nearly $1.6 trillion, $70.4 million, at the bank, in which PetroVietnam held a 20% stake. Sun is also among the former oil executives who are standing trial with Thang and Thang. Thang is set to stand trial again later this month for his role in the Ocean Bank case, for which he is facing up to 20 years in prison. Thang is also set to stand another trial for embezzlement at Upland, a subsidiary of PVC, for which he is facing the death sentence. The PetroVietnam trial opened on Monday and is expected to last 2 weeks, taking place at the same time as a separate trial in Ho Chi Minh City where a $400 million fraud case involving Vietnam's construction bank is being heard. The video is sponsored by Cientronic.com.